So, okay, go ahead.
The other thing that I would have to say that really helped me out more than anything else is what we're doing right now. Once a week, I sit with Erin, and she gives me goals for the week. I don't always make them, but I try. But knowing that I have to come back and talk to her every week really keeps me on track, because I know she knows what she's doing. And if I'm not getting the results that I need, it's because from this week to that week, I didn't do basically my assignments. So whoever sees this, wherever you are, whatever you do, you have to get with your upline, get with your diamond, get with your upline, get with your diamond, because they know far more than we do, and they are going to be the ones to put you on track. If you don't talk to your diamond at least once a week for 30 minutes to an hour, you're not going to get the success that you want.
Tell me about what you're saying to people when you contact them.
Depends on who it is. If it's somebody that I know, depends on if it's somebody that I know. Well, the first thing I always ask them, what are your goals? Because you have to know what they want. And then I try to do the form, the family, occupation, recreation, and message. I try to do that. I'm kind of new to that, so I'm not that good at it. But you have to know what they want, and you have to let them talk. I'm a talker, so I like to jump in, but I'm really trying hard not to jump in. And the less I jump in, the better success I have.
That's awesome. Another thing I remember you mentioning to me, something we learned from the GoPro script that we have, is always be setting up the next exposure, because a lot of times people need a lot of information.
Yes.
Not a lot of information at once. They need just multiple exposures. They need the first exposure, be thinking about it, then get exposed again, then exposed again. And there's a part in the script that says that, when can I get back with you, or something.
Yes.
What was the thing you said? He's been using the scripts, but not exactly. He's been taking elements
Yes.
from the scripts and then putting his own little twist on it with the same spirit of what
Yes.
the intention of the script is, and it's really working for him. So I've asked him to remember what the little key phrases he's been using that are working, so we can actually input that into our script later. But what was the one that you did recently?
What were we talking about?
About trying to get them to set up the next exposure. There was something you did. Oh, it was like, can I talk to you tomorrow? What was it? It was something where you're always, you give them 24 hours. What was it?
Well, the key is always set up the next exposure. And it says all this in the GoPro. If you haven't read the GoPro, you have to read the whole thing. The whole thing. If you don't read the whole thing, you're going to miss tons of things. I read the whole thing, and I try to apply all that stuff. But what I do is I always try to say, and what it says in there is every exposure is there to set up the next exposure. So if somebody says, I'm not interested, leave me alone, whatever, I just back them up to the following month. Because what you do is, because they'll think about what you said when you're not around. And that's what you always have to remember. When you tell somebody something, they're going to remember what you said. They're going to act like they don't, but they remember. So later, when they're doing something, or when they're getting ready to eat that cheesecake or whatever, they'll be thinking about what you said. And then when you touch them the next time, hey, just checking on you, seeing how you're doing, they'll be more receptive to you. And that's what works. But what I usually say is, so when can I get back with you the next time? And then I try to form a time. I try to make sure we have a definitive time for me to contact them. And then when you do contact them, they will say, no, I haven't really looked at it yet. And you always say these words, I know you're busy, we're all busy, and then you go through all of that. And then, when can I get back with you again?
Yes. I remember, because how many times have you all said, okay, well, let me know if you have any questions, or you just leave it open-ended.
Never said
okay, let me know. And then it's open-ended, and then you feel awkward going back to them, hi, just checking back, because it was just kind of left dangling like that. But if you set a time for the next follow-up, when can I get back with you to see if you've checked the video? When will you know for sure that you've watched the video? Which is that's an exact quote at a GoPro. When will you have for sure watched the video?
Yes.
They give you a thing, great, I'll get back with you then.
Right.
You set up an actual time. That way when you contact them, all you're doing is doing what you said you would do.
Yes.
You're keeping your word, you're showing that you're on top of it, and you've almost asked permission to contact them again by setting that up, instead of just kind of leaving it dangling and then feeling awkward like you're bugging them.
And another thing that's very